Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of OptiCraft. Glad you can make it. Today we're going to be doing something very special. I'm going to be constructing a massive playerless concrete maker using the dupers we redesigned in the last video. So this is going to be quite a technical episode, but I'm going to try to make it entertaining for those of you that don't really give a shit about redstone. So without further ado, I think we should get into the building process. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the creative test world here. Yeah, this is kind of a mess right now, but let me explain the basic design idea I wanted. So when the concrete falling entities come through, I never want them to go into item form, not a single time. I want them to just automatically get converted into the hard concrete and get TNT blasted. I know it's less efficient than just like feeding them to a player in item form and putting them in like a super efficient concrete maker, but I think this is much more interesting, and it's completely player devoid too. You don't have to have a player, which is pretty neat. And then the second challenge is when sand comes through the duper, I want it to be auto broken and then smelted into glass. So this is why I came up with this little circuit right here, which will automatically break the items and feed them out into some super smelter that will be built later, but when this is not extended, the concrete can fall through below to the pistons that push it out. It's Eli from the future editing this video right now, and as you watch up the sped up footage, I want to point out that none of this makes it into the final concrete machine design. I actually tear down this entire build and start over because I had a few pretty fundamental misconceptions about how the machine was going to work, but I wanted to sort of talk about this because it's important to note that the design process for redstone contraptions is not linear in any capacity. It changes. You fuck up a lot, things don't pan out, and that's okay. As long as you don't spend 6 hours messing up like I did, you know, it'll work out. That's all right. So back to actual video now. All right, and with that, this thing's done. No, you're not supposed to land there. So quick change of pace here. I'm back in survival and I'm mining out the entire area that I need to build the concrete machine. I kind of got bored trying to design the furnace array for the glass because, I don't know, I've made a lot of furnace arrays, so I switched to survival to just mine. But this is somehow even more boring because this shit cannot be insta-mine. You just have to whack at it. And to be honest, we have quite the area to clear right now, so I'll get back to you when that's completed. But I just wanted to show you how painful it is to tear down something I've already built. Kind of sucks. But yeah, I think hopefully this will take less than an hour, but get back to you then. So if you have a keen eye, you might be able to realize that I destroyed the entirety of the concrete maker I had before. And that's because I was really bothered by one aspect, a pretty crucial aspect of it. And that's if we have concrete falling down here. So let's put a block down here. This would be normally where we catch it and push it over into the blast chamber. If we get rid of this slab here, you can see that because these entities coming through the end portal, there are actually 3 concrete in that one block. So if I put it here, you'll see there's a lot of loss. You can see the items just getting pushed out, the extra 2 each time. And that destroys the efficiency of this. And not only that, it's messy, and it's just a bad solution. So I was determined to come up with something better. There was a lot of good ideas. I was talking with my friends. They thought staggering the timings of, you know, the items coming through the end portal would be a good idea. I think that would have been a good solution, but I wanted this to be as efficient as possible. So let me present to you what I came up with. First, I'm going to explain it. So the concrete falls down here. It's pushed over with this slime block, and it falls all the way down here. And that's basically just to give us more space and have it coming in at a trajectory so we can do something with it. And then it falls down here, and then it gets launched up here. And the second it hits the water, that one concrete block that is actually 3 concrete powders becomes separated. So this is impossible to explain normally. Let me just show you how this idea pans out here. So let's watch it. So the concrete flies down and it instantly forms into 3 when it shoots up through the tube. Boom, it becomes 3. Very cool. So this is how I'd get peak efficiency out of this. And because I spaced it so far down, we should be able to have all of the 4 modules doing this. Look at how fast this is. This is the solution. I'm really pleased with it. You can see that that one concrete block turns into 3 inside the water. This took me like honestly an embarrassing amount of time to come up with. I just was having a super hard time getting like the angles of the slime blocks wrong. I didn't even know if the idea was going to work. I figured either water or cobwebs would be the best way to go about it. But this is it. So I'm going to mirror this process, and that's the idea. That's the concept behind this new concrete machine. So with that said, we have a lot of building to do. I'll get back to you then. And ta-da! Here it is. I completely redesigned it. So you left me last, I think, when I was showing you the new mechanism to turn that one concrete falling entity into 3 concrete blocks. Yeah, so a lot of things have happened since then. Right now it's currently in sand mode, and I think before I start chattering on about how this works, I think it's best if we turn it off sand mode. So I have a ton of safeguards in here to make sure this machine doesn't fuck itself over. So let's turn it off sand mode. So these items keep getting reset, whatever. There's not really a good way to handle them. So now it's time to engage the concrete, which I'm very psyched about. All right, looks like it's working. All right. Yay! As you can see, we have all the concrete flying around, getting moved through all of these piston feed tapes, slowly but surely, and then we have a ridiculous amount of TNT coming down because this shit gets pushed out rapidly. Yeah, that's the machine. Let's go over some of the aspects now. So firstly, the safety mechanisms. I didn't want any items to be able to fall down and trigger these observers, leaving them like in an off state. So I had these pistons extend that would stop that with the glass. They're right here. Now we can go over the TNT duper a little bit. I chuck the TNT with this duper design into honey to make it slow down and explode right as it gets there pretty much. And then really the only other thing to talk about is the little piston feed tape design I have here. It's nothing much, but an observer detects the top concrete block and it powers all 3 pistons. So we're basically just channeling all of the concrete over to an area where we can explode it. Man, that's really all the explanation I can give after this much work. I think we're saving the super smelter for the next episode because if I'm being honest, this took a fat minute to design. There's just a lot of complexity going on here and like angling everything, figuring out where the blocks bounce, making sure it's reliable. So actually importantly, if I turn it off right now, it is reliable. It'll stop and everything will be in the correct position. You can see everything's chilling, nothing's amiss. And then if I turn it back on again, sorry, get angle here, you can see that it gets working normally. I say, hoping it's working normally. Yeah, it is. So incredibly satisfying to watch this. I'm really pleased with the results overall. I don't think I've ever built something this complex before. But unfortunately, I have to build this up in survival now, which ain't gonna be super easy. Oh yeah, also the storage system down here. Oh no. Alright, whatever. A little bit of loss, can't hurt. It fills up fast. It can do 6 stacks. Well, actually, more like 7 stacks every minute of concrete. So I haven't done the math, but that's quite rapid, I think. So yeah, I think we're gonna move to building this up in survival now. Alright, so we're on OptiCraft in survival. Put a beacon down, but more importantly, you can see I cleared an absolutely absurd amount of endstone because now we gotta build this. Look at how much I just cannot describe how painful it is to clear large amounts of endstone. Anyway, it's been done. Yep. I guess now all there really is to do is build it up. Oh, also, I got powdered snow. I feel like that's important to note. Withercake and I, we went out to a nice snowy mountain and we put down some cauldrons, so now I can freeze to death. Or I could make a stray farm. Probably not going to do that, so I can just freeze to death. But it is time. That's a weird breaking animation. It is time to build this up. Alright, we're in survival, and it is built up. This was not easy to build because I designed it You know, poorly, let's just say. But it's done now, and I am so happy with it. It works. It's more importantly, it's working on the server, which is always a bit scary. And I'm just really happy with how this machine's working right now. Had to clear out a lot of space, a lot of frustration, but it is done. All of the features work. Let's go into free cam really quickly. That's it. It's a working machine. So I think right now we should do a little music time lapse of this machine working. Thank you for watching another episode of OptiCraft. I know this one was a little bit too technically, but that's how it is sometimes. So if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.